still going to be a hard race to win. It certainly will be. I mean, you got a lot of, that autumn form. It's just such wet ground. Does that bring them wet trackers more into play if we go to Doomben on Saturday, or if we go to go to Eagle Farm? That horses for course is a really firm track. So I think the strength of the race will still be that it'll be a tricky race to win. There's no doubt without our Australia's top 2 or 3 sprinters, without them in it, it certainly opens the race up. And there seems to be a big group of horses on that next line. So I think that's what you're seeing here now. So some of these young 4-year-olds are going to step up. Or is it a 3-year-old like Marzu coming up from Sydney? He's got that great wet track form from the autumn. I think it's an intriguing race, and I'm sure the form out of it will be strong. It is all the time, and it'll be no different this year. Yeah, well, look, there's a few there. I mean, I would have preferred to see better runs out of Zoo Style and Baller off their runs at Eagle Farm. But I think one horse might have felt the weight and the track, and the other horse definitely felt the track. So yeah, I'd like to see them a little bit better, but I couldn't be happier with Vega 1 and Isotope where they're at. And I guess as far out as when I started looking at the 10,000 in a race, which was a while ago, I think Isotope was the filly that I probably had on top out of all mine for this sort of race. And it's just going to be weather conditions for her. I couldn't be happier with her preparation. So I still think I got good strength in it. Maybe not such depth with strength in the numbers. I still think my top seed is probably still right up there with one of the better chances in the race.
Rothfire at the 450. In front from second is It's Me, Nick and Nova. Scalapini the inside, Count to Rupee. Baller working home and Jamaya's down the outside. It's Rothfire just with the lead. From the outside, Scalapini, and further back to Baller. And Jamaya's coming down the outside, and Count to Rupee waving through as well.
I thought Big One was really good. Really good late. He probably still needs one more. He'll run no matter what. Whether it's a Doomben on really wet ground he's won on, or we would transfer to Eagle Farm. Here he handles his track as well, so he'll run no matter what. He's probably still got to run short, missing a trial going in off of such a long layoff, but he'll need this run to bring him on for the Kingsford Smith and the Stradbroke. Historically, his 3rd and 4th runs are his best, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and I won't get a 5th one out of him this prep, but I'll get a 3rd and 4th, I hope. So whether it's this, I don't think it's second up, I think it's more Kingsford Smith, Stradbroke. Yeah, he did. He was a run ahead of where he is. He had a 1,000-metre run, then he had the Victory Stakes, then he had this run. So he was just that run ahead. Plus he had 2 or 3 trials, I think 3 trials leading in. So I've just been a little bit behind with the injury from last year's Stradbroke with him, and I'm picking up good headway, but I'm still a touch behind in my prep.
Flying Rupert showing signs of distress. Gone! Refuel went to him, and then Capital Tower went to the pair and said goodbye. Capital Tower racing away over the final stages, 3 in a row. Refuel boxed on well, went under by a length, Tober 3rd.
Yeah, he's a really nice colt. He's unbeaten. He jumped out well on heavy ground, which he doesn't love. He has to run no matter what, because I really want to try and put him in that 2-year-old Triple Crown, that 1,200, the 1,400 out to the mile. That profiles really well for him. We backed off him in the autumn with our mindset to run through this carnival, and I'm really, really happy with where he's at. He's never been better than where he is now. You'll see a better horse on the weekend than what you've seen previously, and he's probably got to keep on getting better. He's been winning he's not that sort of horse that wins by big margins, but he's a very, very impressive colt. He trolled up beside Natuno the other day in unsuitable ground, and you'll see him race well on the weekend. He'll just be better on dry rather than wetter.